Lance is he'll be dressed. Courtney and Joe will be out.
Okay. The other day you'll have to take on Karl Anthony Towns in a different kind of way defensively. And after you take a look at the tape there, what's the approach with trying to make things difficult on him?
Well, there's two different theories. He had the huge game, but we kept other guys in check and kept them uninvolved. So we can't get crazy with running and doubling him. He'll probably still get his points. He might not get 47, but he's still going to get a bunch. A lot of times his points came off of a couple of defensive breakdowns where we didn't step over. We didn't box out hard enough. If we just do those things, you start to limit him. He's going to make some shots. There might be times we have to run at him, but again, I don't think we can get crazy with running around and letting the other guys get going.
Tell me a little bit about Kuz in terms of, when you just look at his stat line, it doesn't necessarily look like he's making that much of an impact, but he really has affected some of these games when he's gotten minutes in crunch time, that sort of thing. What do you like about his toughness, or he plays like he's not afraid, it seems like?
Yeah, no, he's an older guy. He's played many big games overseas, so that the big lights, they don't bother him at all. He's just out there playing. And I think in the beginning he was a little tentative defensively, worrying about getting beat. He's really stepped up his defense, which has helped us. And the shot, he's confident when he gets it. He thinks he's going to make it. We all think he's going to make it. So he may be a rookie in terms of the NBA, but he's kind of a veteran player who understands the game, and he cuts well off the ball, which is something not a lot of our guys do. So we need those guys to play that particular role. And he's a guy that can also pass the ball some. So he's a good all-around player.
And Coach, when you look at Towns and KP and the way that these big players are going out and hitting threes the way they are, they're really changing the dynamic of the game. What's your take on sort of the evolution when you get guys in like that? I mean, it's nothing we've ever really seen before.
Well, I think the guys that are going to end up being effective as time goes on is not the bigs that can step out there and shoot threes. They'll go to smaller guys, get out there and guard them. It's going to be the guys that have a dual threat. The guy that can go in the post and score, or a guy that can go outside. I think both those guys, Karl Anthony and KP, are both guys that can do both of those things. You can't be one-dimensional. I think you're going to score in this league. They'll be able to take you out of things. So, I think it's their well-rounded offensive abilities that will keep them being two of the top guys in the league for a long time.
So who's starting for Courtney and Joe tonight?
Why do you ask that question?
You worked out last time.
Huh?
That's not getting an answer.
No, that's Mark's question.
Sorry, Mark.
Mark, you got a question?
Same question, maybe. No, is KP back at center?
Yeah, Kyle will be back at he'll start at the 5.
And then in the backcourt?
I'll tell you. No, I won't. I got to keep you guessing, Mark.
Has the defense been a different defense since Kurt has focused on it, or what do you see with that?
Yeah, we've simplified a couple things. Like I said before, we've gotten away from. We were kind of allowing them to switch. We thought we'd be a good switching team early in the season. We didn't feel like it was turning out that way. So we went back to where there's not a lot of switching, and you got to guard your own guy. And that's helped us some. So we've gotten better. There's still a lot of things. Our weak side help has been better. So we just got to continue to work and improve on those things, and then just getting after your own guy. Take a little pride in guarding a guy one-on-one, and if you get beat, then someone should be there to help. I think before we were expecting help, we're trying to reverse that a little bit.
What percentage do you think you switch or don't switch? Do you document that, or like what it's been?
Well, we don't do it very often now. Just like most teams, sometimes you just have to, emergency switch. But for the most part, we just don't want to sit there and say, okay, switch, because we put guys on certain guys for a reason, and we want them to try to stay on those guys as much as possible. The same thing in transition defense. If you're assigned to a certain guy, you have to run back to stop the fast break, but then we want you to find your own man, not just take the nearest guy. I thought that hurt us early in the season too. We were doing a lot of that work. We were just saying, okay, I got this guy, then someone else go get that, and now you're all screwed up.
With Lance, plans are affecting guys. Is that just something he's gonna have to play through, or is that gonna be better to a point where you guys feel comfortable with it?
Yeah, right now, he feels better with it, through getting treatments, that kind of stuff. I've never had it, so I don't know exactly how it feels, but some of our other coaches had it, said, yeah, it's painful. It's painful to play through. So, he continues to get treatment on it. They do certain tape jobs on it to try to help. But we'll just have to see now, once he starts pounding on it again and going hard, how it affects him. So we'll probably try to start him out slowly in the beginning and gradually, move on with maybe more minutes, but just have to see how he feels.
There was a time early in Carmelo's career where his clutch numbers were off the charts. Went through a long stretch where that wasn't the case at all. Made a couple of big shots last couple of weeks. Is that explainable at all to you? I mean, for a player of his stature that...
No, like I said the other night, I've been on other teams where some years it looks like, you rarely see guys who miss those last second shots, because the ones they put on TV are the ones they always make. So we've had guys miss them in the past, but then all of a sudden one year, in Utah, I think John Stockton might have made 7 or 8 game winners. Kind of that same way late in the game, come off a screen roll and knocking a shot in. So sometimes they go in bunches like that. That's our hope with Carmelo, is that he'll continue that clutch shooting when we need it. And I think veteran guys that have done it in the past, if he had never done it in the past and not been one of those clutch guys, then you say, okay, by now, you're not going to do it. But he's proved it before. In a few years maybe he didn't, but we're not concerned about that. So what is he doing now? And he's coming through for us.
Almost 20 games in, I don't think Derek has adjusted to the team, the offense, and just the new atmosphere.
Yeah, it's getting there, I think. He's adjusting some. He's still probably thinking, what's the right play. Sometimes when he just goes out there and plays, he ends up doing a little bit better. But we need him to think about it. He's not the one-man team scoring. We have KP and Carmelo, and we want him to do that at certain times, but then at other times set guys up, and so he's trying to figure it all out. I think he's doing great. He's hit a clutch bucket for us a few games back, and when he can get to the basket, it opens up a lot of things for us. So we want him to continue that, and then when they collapse on him, make those extra passes to guys, and that's how you play as a point guard.
What did you see with 4 minutes left when you decided to put in Brandon to close?
Well, Brandon was he was in the game, I think. So
I'm sorry. Well, Holiday, but Holiday came in for.
Yeah, just the 2 guards together, and it didn't seem like Brandon was having a really good game the way he was hitting guys for passes. Justin with his outside shooting, and I just felt that sometimes when I look at Brandon and Derek going together, at times it's been good, other times it hasn't, because they both are guys that are used to having the ball in their hands. So I felt at that point Brandon was playing a little bit better, and just decided to go that way.
Coach, what did you see out of Plumlee in his first significant action of the season?
Effort. You're going to get that out of Marshall every time. He just plays hard, sets screens, he'll box guys out. He does the fundamentals. So a lot of times in this league nowadays, guys are just relying on their athletic ability and their abilities that way. But Marshall's going to do those things. So we were very happy with the way he played. Gave us a big lift. He makes a team. When he sets a screen, first of all he sets it, and then when he rolls hard. So guys have to come in. You saw, Brandon, hit him once for a 3-point play. So that's what we expect out of our 5s, and he gave us that lift.
To that question about Carmelo, I mean, at the end of games, do you want him taking those types of shots kind of like in isolation, or would you rather have the team run some actions or get some more movement somehow?
Well, I always said with the rules nowadays, I wish I could have played in today's game, because you can fake a guy off, they can't get in your body, they can't put a hand on you. If you're a shooter, you get a shot off. And so, you know, for him to get isolated 15 feet out and still have his dribble available, you know, the guy can't get up and touch you. You know, those are the rules. So, yeah, I think, you know, he'll make that quite a bit. You know, now we don't want him to be out at 20 and have to dribble into a good shot. We're trying to get him the ball a little bit lower so he can just face the guy and take that shot. But you know, we didn't feel comfortable with him, and you know, KP, if we put him in that spot, or Derek taking that shot, we got a lot of choices.
So that's the optimal outcome. One of those three guys in that type of situation alone, kind of just isolate.
Yeah, and there's going to be times we run it from one of those three guys, and they decide to double it and get it out of their hands, and that's when they got to be able to make the play. You know, when we call play for these guys, it doesn't necessarily mean for them to shoot it. It's for them to make a play, whether it's a shot or a pass to an open guy, and that's when you have to have confidence in your teammates and trust that they'll make the shot.